And welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I know right now we say it's the busy season, so just that you took time out this fine evening, or maybe you're going to watch the recording later to listen, I applaud you. And first and foremost, thank you for putting your health first, for really wanting to learn more about how you can really make the most of this aging process. And what you're going to find is, I think through the course of time, we've all started to make things very complicated in the world of health and wellness and anti-aging. But honestly, we're now entering a time that's easier and simpler than ever to age with grace and ease and flow. But sometimes we get caught up in the have to do everything instead of like, let me just do the one thing, right? So it is an honor to be hosting all of these incredible women. We're going to talk about why, as coaches, why, as healthcare practitioners, why do anybody that's a health enthusiast want to say yes to activation and learn more about this company, Lifevantage. And maybe it's something that you're looking for to optimize your health and wellness or clients' health and wellness. But honestly, what we're really finding in the world is many of us are taking on a variety of things in our life. But in order to spend time, energy, and effort on anything, it should be worth it, right? And it should be financially worth it. And finances are one of those things today I feel like we don't talk enough about because yes, money isn't everything, but money sure helps gives us choices in life that aids life to be a little bit easier for many of us. And this is an incredible opportunity. So let me just quickly introduce myself before we can jump into all of the goodness. My name is Kelly Lepsha. I'm a physical therapist by background. I used to specialize in stroke, traumatic brain injury, concussion survivors. And over the past 10 years, as I took my health seriously and what do I want to look like in transitioning from my 40s to my 50s, I really realized I wanted to help women do the same. So now I'm a high performance health coach, really helping people optimize this kind of aging process, which so many of us are in. And whether you're aging at 30 or 40 or 50 or even into your 70s, we all want to age well, right? Like that's a yes. Drop it in the chat, you guys, if everybody out there wants to age well. Yes, exactly. So, with this, let me introduce to you the company that we're going to be talking about and the concept that we're going to be talking about. The company is called Lifevantage. Lifevantage is a publicly traded company that is leading the forefront in the field of nutrigenomics, which is just using all natural plants, herbs in combinations and specific blends that activate our genes, what we already have inside of us, turning on our good genes and off our bad genes. They're now leading, helping people get to root cause simpler, easier, faster than really ever before. The company started with one flagship product. It's called Protandem NRF2. We're going to talk a little bit about products. We're not going to go to deep science tonight, but we're going to talk a little bit products, and everyone's going to give a little bit of their favorite product and why. But it was founded from this one product. And back in the day, a scientist basically said, he was one of the co-discoverers of SOD, an enzyme that we make, one of our own antioxidants our body makes. And he said, how can we get the body to make more? I can make it in a lab, but the body can't assimilate it. How can I create some product that can get the body to do the work? Well, that's what he did. After 40 years of research in a lab, he created a product called Protandem NRF2 that it activates our own body's natural antioxidant production, SOD, catalase, and even glutathione by up to 300%. What he didn't realize he was creating is not only upregulating SOD as boosting our own antioxidants, he actually flipped the master switch of the NRF2 pathway. And that pathway is responsible for regulating all of our genes. So I tell people, that is the one product I will never, ever stop taking. Well, lo and behold, the company didn't stop there. It got so much publicity from being on ABC News. Universities around the world that were studying the link of oxidative stress to disease said, how can we get our hands on this product? Because this product is clinically proven. This FDA approved statement to say it is clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days in 100% of people. That's a bold claim. And ABC News thought that they were going to discredit it. Well, the opposite happened on national television. John Quinones took his blood before and after only taking the product for 2 weeks, and his levels of oxidative stress went down by 45%. That made universities take big note, and that's why they wanted to study the product. So now there's over 30 peer-reviewed published studies. When you look at extended studies, or you can go to Google Scholar and find research from universities like the American Heart Association, Harvard, LSU, VCU, Texas Tech, Wales, the Dominican Republic, like all around the world, people now have studied Protandim NRF2. I love the fact that here's this 5 herbal blend that just that blend in the right recipe has now been patented, it's been researched, it's been proven. And the company's gone on to make other products in the field of activation. Activating meaning instead of supplementing, we're turning on the body's ability to heal and repair. Whether we talked about activating the gut, whether we're activating the brain, whether we're activating mitochondria, we're activating collagen production, we are not no longer supplementing. This is a new field of activation, which I get so excited for. I've been in the field 11 years now doing this. And yes, it's been a blessing. We're going to talk a little bit about some stories, but it's been such a blessing in our families' lives, in all the clients' lives. If I could download everything that I've seen into your brain, you would be saying, how fast can I get my hands on this product? And I want this product to help in my practice or in my world to help the people I love. So it's been absolutely amazing. And then the lastly, I will just say is there is a huge financial opportunity for those looking because I know myself having an online business, it can be challenging to get out there and be known and make a sustained income over time all the time. And with this business of Lifevantage has retired me from my physical therapy clinic. So I never knew something like this was possible. I thought I would just dabble a little bit in it to honestly just have an option for helping clients. But after I saw the impact in people's lives, I had to start sharing it more. And when COVID hit and we had to shut our business down, I decided, you know what? I've got a business in my hands. I can build online from anywhere, from my phone, literally. And I got to work. And it honestly has been the biggest blessing for my family. So we have amazing ladies here. A quick just hello for them to wave. We have Marcy coming in from Arizona and Michelle coming in from Missouri. We've got Laura in Ohio. I'm going to screw all this up. And Christine from Maine. And we've got Julie from Tennessee. So we're like around the US. It's really, really been fun. And it's been my pleasure to have people like this. Tonight, we're all women, but people like this with the quality and the caliber of individuals say yes to Lifevantage and say yes to really wanting to help people. So we're going to just start by having them share a little bit about like who they are, what they do, and why did they say yes to Lifevantage? And then we'll get into some deeper questions. So Marcy, I'll turn it over for you first to do a quick introduction.
Okay, well, hi everybody. I am Marcy Slater. I'm an integrative health practitioner and nutrigenomics specialist. So my passion is to help people slow the aging process because ultimately, as Kelly already stole what I was going to say, I mean, what do we really want? We want to we want to feel better, we want to look better, we want to age better, and we'd like our genes to fit, right, ladies? So, I mean, so a few years ago, I actually started specializing in nutrigenetic testing. And I found that that would really helped me hone in on finding out what was happening with my kids and myself and our health issues. It really helped connect the dots to root causes and where there were some weaknesses. And it was actually through this testing that I learned what I think is the most fascinating thing still yet to date, and that is the NRF2 pathway that Kelly just briefly spoke about. So it was really through my genetics training that I learned about this pathway. And I know we're not getting into all the details of the science here, but when you activate that pathway, you are turning on well over 200 protective genes in the body. So then I was introduced to Lifevantage and discovered they had a Nerf2 activation product, and I was floored. I had never heard about it before. And as many of you will probably agree, Lifevantage seems to be a very word of mouth company. It's like you hear about it from somebody else. So once I learned about this, there was no going back. There's just so many studies and research and patents, and it's the stories. The stories have blown me away. I mean, I could see all the studies, but it's really the stories. So now I'm using this as a foundational piece of my practice. I have my entire family is on this, my dogs are on it. This is the first thing. If a client is only willing to take one thing, it's because there are some people that really don't want to take a lot of things. I mean, this is it. So I'm using that and some other key activation products as my primary recommendations. And whether or not somebody wants to do genetic tests, I will tell you that people need these. So these are very different than supplements. A supplement is supplementing a deficiency. These are going to activate cellular pathways so our bodies function better. So anyway, I just feel really passionate about this whole topic, and this is just an upstream approach. It helps people just kind of streamline what they're taking, move the needle faster. And I just thank you for coming and listening today. And it is a different concept and a little bit of a mind shift.
Ah, thank you, Marcy. It's been a blessing. No, such a blessing. I'm going to pass it over to Christine, to introduce yourself next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christine Hatch. I am in Maine, and I spent 22 years in the Army, though it took me on quite a journey that was never my life plan when I joined at 17 years old, but it definitely took a toll on me physically over that time and mentally. And getting done in the military, I was offered what I call the VA's three pillars of healthcare, which is pain meds, psych meds, and surgery. And none of that really felt right for me. And so that sent me on a whole journey with holistic healing, both for, physical ailments and for mental issues and PTSD. And, through a very long journey, I found Lifevantage as well. And these products have been absolutely amazing. Like everyone here, and the IHPs in the room, we love the science. We like to get into the weeds of it. But at the end of the day, if you're not feeling results for it, it's really hard to stick with anything. And these products gave me such pain relief so quickly, that, again, like Marcy said, my whole family now is on these products, and I specialize in health coaching for people who are burnt out. I work with a lot of other female veterans and other high performing females. And, we only have so much bandwidth. We only have so much time. And these products have really simplified processes and very complicated protocols that we've learned along the way. And the traction that people get so quickly makes it easier for people to stay with the program when you have a very limited bandwidth. These really give you like a lot of, the rubber meets the road real fast, and people start feeling better. And the sooner you're feeling better, the sooner you can do more. And it's just that snowball effect in the greatest way that your health just improves so quickly. So,
Oh my
and so I will
gosh.
just say, like, while Nerf 2 is amazing, collagen, I'm addicted to the collagen. So
Honestly, we should like cheers it, ladies, because I think we
yeah.
would all agree on that 100%, Christine. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you so, so much for being here. Okay, Miss Michelle, I'm going to pass it to you to intro.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kelly. Great to hear Marcy and Christine's stories and the rest of the other integrative health practitioners or health coaches on tonight. I never get tired of hearing their whys and why they're doing this. So I'm Michelle Swenson. I'm also an integrative health practitioner and a menopause coaching specialist. I left my corporate career in 2023 to really just pursue a passion of helping other people. I just felt I had aged out of working for others and wanted to pursue something with purpose. And that's what led me to becoming an integrative health practitioner. It has opened up such an amazing community of people that love helping each other. And we all have each other to rely on and bounce off ideas off of. And that is who I can thank for introducing me to activation. My target audience of women that I help are the 40 plus crowd. They're struggling with gut issues and metabolism and sleep and energy and mood and hair. All the things have just all of a sudden compounded. It feels like they just wake up one day and they're Gollum on Lord of the Rings, and they're like, what happened to me? And they need help, and they need fast help. And so kind of some of the comments from like Marcy and Christine that have been echoed. One, we're dealing with women that are a phase of life that they don't have time to slow down. They need results, and they need them quick, and they're struggling hard, and they have families, and they have commitments, and they're trying to do all the things. And so when I learned about Activation One, I was like, how have I not heard about this? Like, I've been in the wellness space even prior to me leaving my corporate career for over 10 years. And I mean, even longer than that, really, 15 years of just searching and always looking for wellness solutions. So I was blown away when I learned about this company. I'm like, where has this been hiding? Like, what is happening? And I'll tell you what got me, the science behind these products just blew me away. They made so much sense. Supplementation, it just helped you understand the difference between supplementation and activation. And I know we're going to get into some questions, and I can't wait to get to my question tonight that you're going to ask me, Kelly, on protocols and clients. But when I learned what these products do, and I read the science and I was on PubMed and I wasn't sleeping, reading all this stuff, thankfully I had the NRF2 to give me the energy to get through the next day when I wasn't sleeping because I was researching. But then reading the stories like has also been echoed. Like I could not believe it. Seeing the pictures, seeing the kids' stories, seeing the women's stories, seeing all these recovery stories. There is no way that I could pass up the opportunity to bring this into my practice to help clients get better faster. And just like Marcy said, if this is, they will only take one thing if they financially can only handle one thing, if they don't have the time or the bandwidth or anything. This is Protandim NRF2, hands down, should be in every single household. It should be mailed with your social security card when you're born, and you should take it your entire life and no one should stop. And so just like Christine and Marcy, I've got Jesse on it. Jesse came to a presentation, blown away. I wasn't even trying to sell him on anything. I wasn't even trying to talk to him about it because he's like, oh, another thing Michelle's got going on, you know? And he goes, I need to be on these products. And I was like, oh, okay. So what I love about it too is it's so science backed. It's not a influencer product. It's not fancy packaging. The bottle's ugly. It's just like it's all science and it makes sense. It makes so much sense that it's like logical and it works and it's just amazing. So that's my little spiel. I might have went over, but I hope it helped everyone here. Thank you all for coming and listening. And whatever you take away from this tonight, just know that every single person here is passionate about these products for a real reason, not just, even though Kelly brought up the money, we're passionate about because what they do for people. And that's why we are so passionate about sharing tonight.
100%, Michelle. I will say, which I didn't really say, that my husband and I would have never even entered or taken a look at this with a 10-foot pole if we didn't see the research, the patents, the studies, the hearing people's stories. It was like, I can't pass this up, right? Like, what if? And that's the thing I want to tell everybody, like, what if that what it's possible for you and your health or the clients that you serve. So absolutely. All right, we're going to pass it over to Miss Julie for some quick introduction.
Hey there, everyone. Again, I'll echo what everyone else has said here. Thank you so much for spending the time on a cold day. At least it's cold in Nashville. It's cold and rainy. But I am Julie Durr. I am, like Kelly, I'm a licensed physical therapist and certified athletic trainer. Got that education over 30 years ago, but transitioned to integrative health and functional health about 10 years ago. So I primarily work with midlife women, again, like Michelle, over 40. And a lot of these women are struggling with hormone deficits. They really come to me wanting more information about hormone replacement. That's a big part of what I do. However, I tell all of my clients, hormone replacement is not the quick fix all. All of the foundational things have got to be in place. And when I was introduced to this, actually, Marcy introduced me. And, I think like many of you here, when someone that you know and trust who is also very science-based or has, advanced degrees is telling you something, you listen, right? I mean, that's what we do. We tell our friends and we tell our colleagues things that we know are working for us and that have worked for clients. So she shared that with me. I talked to Kelly briefly. And again, like Kelly mentioned, the science behind this, I think all of us here would probably recognize we're kind of science geeks. We don't just automatically take the information that we got and run with it, but looking at the research, understanding the research. And ironically, I had done a DNA test probably 6 months before this. And, we can't change our genes, right? But I had some huge red flags in that DNA test that really forced me to go, okay, there are some things I need to do to help upregulate some of these genes that I can't change. So when I saw the NRF2, the Protandim, that was one thing I was like, okay, I've got to try this. Of course, I love all the other things too, like the collagen, and we'll talk about our favorite things. But I just found a lot of my clients and me, right? We are exposed to a million different supplements. Every day there's a new supplement that comes out. And so many of my clients were on these huge protocols, these gut healing protocols, and optimizing their hormone kind of protocols, all these different things that they were taking literally 25 supplements for. So the fact that there are just a couple things that I could introduce and actually take away some of the things on those lists and actually save some of my clients money while still improving their health and improving mine too. So that is, a big reason why I was really intrigued by Lifevantage and why I use a lot of these products and why a lot of my clients do too. So I am excited about some of the new things. I haven't tried some of the new things that have come out, but I'm excited about those. I feel like this company is always evolving. They're so science-based, and I am just happy to be a part of it. So I hope you all are writing down questions, and I know we're going to, answer some of those later, but that's just a little bit about my story.
Thank you, Julie. It's pretty amazing, you guys, because the history of all of our health and degrees and backgrounds is like pretty massive when you start collecting everything from everyone. It's exciting. Okay, Miss Laura, I'm going to pass it to you.
Well, hi there. I'm Laura Beck, and I'm from Iowa. And I am blessed to be here with all these wonderful ladies and to be part of this company as well. I can echo so many of the things that everybody has said. So, just a little bit about me to start with. I am a nurse by trade, and I have a degree in exercise science and wellness and an athletic training minor and those kind of things. I'm a certified functional blood work specialist, and I'm in the process of getting certifications in the IHP, HPH, and a certified mental wellness coach as well. So, like all the other ladies, the activation, the Lifevantage products have just been a blessing to me. My newly forming coaching program. My program is Have the Guts to Heal. And as I think Julie said, foundationally, you've got to get your body working and get all those foundational things going first to be able to truly heal your body. And I was so blessed when I came across Lifevantage and the activation that it's been just really eye-opening for me of how our lives can be simplified a lot and not have to worry about all the protocols and the roadmaps and all of those things as coaches and be able to just focus on a few products that are really going to turn our bodies on to be able to help so many people out there. So that's that's my little story today.
Awesome, Laura. Thank you, you guys. Before we jump into questions, we actually have one other guest that's on here. And what I really want to say is we have a medical advisory board. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of doctors, whether they're naturopaths, chiropractors, acupuncturists, surgeons, obesity medicine, radiologists. It goes on and on and on. So it's not just coaches and practitioners. We have so many people that have said yes to Lifevantage. That's very, very unusual. We even have tonight, I know we even have some pharmacists on. We don't have time for me to bring everybody on, but I am going to just bring on one quick guest because she is here tonight. Because this is somebody who taught me about genetics, and that's where Marcy and I got really started talking about it. But she had been introduced to Nerve 2 before, and her and I had some discussions, and she was kind of like, I don't know if this really can do what you say it's going to do, Kelly. And then after that was like, okay, I'm going to do a deeper dive on science and I'm going to put me and some clients on this and I'm going to see what they can really do. So, Dr. Heidi, I'm going to unmute you and I'm going to bring you also just up for 1 second. You guys, this is Dr. Heidi Arasabal. She is a naturopath. She is a certified functional medicine practitioner, and she is one of, and I told her you need to come brag, but she is in the very first class of integrated functional medicine practitioners. So she's been in in the field in which she got to meet and work on the greats of like Dr. Jeffrey Bland and Dr. Mark Hyman, and so it was tough for me to get Heidi to say yes, because as a naturopath, you've probably seen every single company and every single product out there. So Heidi, just, say hello, a little bit about yourself, and why did you say yes to Lifevantage? Because you could say yes to any company you wanted to.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kelly, and everyone that spoke. You were so eloquent and lovely, and I love the idea of sending an NRF2 or a Protein with your social security card. Brilliant idea. Let's get that in the works. But I said yes to NRF2. Like Kelly said, I came kicking and dragging because I am exposed to really wonderful supplements and formulations and so forth. And NRF2 seemed like a real big dream. But the science proved it's true. and the results prove it true. It's a part of my practice now. I've been using it for about 4 years, and the changes that it's helped with people, the difference that it makes, it's powerful, it's real. All of their products are effective, they're clean, they're all the things, they're all the boxes that I need to check as a practitioner before I hand it over to somebody and say, hey, give this a try. And the fact that there's a little business attached to it was really another big hurdle for me to get over, because I thought, people are going to think, I'm a doctor, I have all these degrees, I have all these certifications, I've had all these years into this, and I'm going to network marketing. Who cares what they think? This stuff works, and it doesn't matter. If it can bring health to somebody and wealth to somebody, who am I to stand in that way? And may I be the vehicle for all of that?
Oh my gosh, amazing. Truly amazing. Well, thank you so much for even just saying hello and coming on quickly. I appreciate you so much for everything that you do and your knowledge. All right, you guys, so we're going to jump into some questions. So I'm going to start with Marcy, and you can answer either or. If you want to first kind of say, like, what's your favorite product, or you can kind of leave that to later. But really, Marcy, I wanted to ask you, how have you changed the way you've worked with clients since discovering these activation tools? And have they replaced anything that you used to do or use with your current clients?
Yes. This is my strong opinion. I think there's a lot of over testing and over supplementing going on out there. I think that people are being told to take tons of tests. Maybe they don't really need them all. And then with tests come results, and with results come bottles and bottles of pills and months of work and protocols. And then I think that a lot of people don't really know what they're getting into, and there's a lot of just fatigue on the whole idea. And then they've got, Christmas break, and they've got summer, and then people, they can't continue with that path. I think a lot of people fall off and they lose motivation, and I think that that's a problem. So I just from kind of taking a step back and focusing on so I really try to focus on like helping people pinpoint what they need specifically. And I mean, some cases, I think there still might be a protocol that's needed. Like I do specialize also in mold detox, and that's like a whole other animal. So sometimes there might be other things, but I really feel like people could start here. They could start with some of these activation products, because if anybody has read the Casey Means book, Good Energy, this is exactly what she's talking about. If you have not read that, please go get it. She is talking exactly about what Lifevantage offers. She's talking about the cellular system. She references Nerf 2 6 times in that book, by the way, because I searched it on my iPad 6 times. And she talks about the mitochondria, and reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. Because what it's really about is reducing the oxidative stress and inflammation, because they loop with each other. And when you think about it, mold toxicity, all these toxins, we're all doing all these detoxes, but what do those cause? They cause inflammation and oxidative stress and mitochondrial dysfunction. So if we could start at the cellular level, like I think of it as an upstream approach, and start there, then somebody could really have symptom relief, and possibly they don't need extra protocols, or it could help them while they're on a protocol move faster through it and have some relief. Because if people are tired, they're not going to continue. So even just the mitochondrial function alone, if we don't have energy, our body is not going to detox well. Our immune system is not going to be functioning. We're not going to lose weight easily. I mean, those functions are just linked to everything. So that is why these products are so special. There's really nothing else out there quite like this that has them all working in synergy together. So I really like, I'm not doing a ton of tests with people anymore. I'm like, if you want, depending on the situation. But in even so, I will reveal my favorite product right now because I have it blurred out back here. So this is my little reveal. So the NRF2 is like my favorite. I recommend that to everybody, but I love the new gut product that we have. And I think I just have to unblur my background. So if you see all these products sitting here, this can replace all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a huge supplement graveyard, so I just pick through some things, but
And
but
Marcy, do
really,
you want to just share a little bit about the P84 gut activation?
so this product is new in the sense that Lifevantage acquired this microbiome company called LoveBiome. And these two powders are the easiest things I've ever seen, and probably anybody else who's on it. So talk about compliance and ease. It's like the first thing I now do in the morning, you mix the two powders together and drink it. It's the first thing I go to before coffee. And this has prebiotics, postbiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, dozens of phytonutrients of every color of the rainbow, has digestive enzymes. So it is like, seriously, when I show you this, everything I just mentioned is in these bottles. So I don't know about you, but I see people buying things like this and then they just sit there because they don't know how long they're supposed to take them. They get sick of taking them, they forget to take them. So this product has been proven to activate 14 different peptides in the gut. And this is the same theme of activation. So now we're activating our gut to restore itself, repair, repair the gut lining. So that's why when I say the over testing, even when it is just an example, like food sensitivity tests. I mean, to me, that's just showing somebody has leaky gut. So why don't we save a few $100s and do this instead? So that's why I strongly feel that people can start here and try this for a couple months and then see what's left over. And then if there are still symptoms, then explore more. But I'm really taking a step back, and I would rather people start with these things and start to feel better and then just and see what's left over. So I love this. And I will say my own story with this. And I knew I've had to work on so many things myself in my own health journey. And my gut was like kind of on the back burner because I'm like, oh, I have to start another thing. And then when this came at perfect timing. So I've been on it for 5 weeks and I track my sleep, and I stopped tracking it because I did not want to see it because I was like, I don't need that stress. Since I've been on it, at least for the last 2 weeks, every single night I am getting the ideal restorative sleep of the 2 hours of REM, the 90 minutes of deep sleep every single night. So that is
Wow.
my big like, oh my gosh. And this was the only thing I changed during that period. Like I am floored. So as we all know, our gut health is related to so many things. So that's why like this paired with the Nerve 2 is like to me like a no-brainer for everybody. And then the mitochondrial one is another favorite because I think everybody needs mitochondrial support. That's linked to so many things I don't think people realize. So those are my favorites. And then we should just quickly mention that there is an NAD product that is spectacular. I don't necessarily start with that, but that is another great one.
Absolutely, Marcy. And just so you guys know, when Marcy's talking about mitochondrial and NAD, these are not supplements. These are activating your own body to produce it, which is, again, a little bit of a hard concept because you just think, oh, I already take an NAD product. It's just very unique and different. So excellent. Thank you so much, Marcy. Christine, we're going to go over to you next. And I know you were talking about burnout and you were talking about people being sick and tired and the capacity for protocols. And I know Marcy touched on that a little bit as well. But I think people are burnout in general. And sometimes, honestly, I have felt scammed in my health also, right? And
Right.
so just speak to that a little bit about what you're seeing with your clients.
Sure. A lot of the clients that I work with, I mean, in addition to just like the physical burnout, adrenal fatigue, all those things that you're hearing, a lot of people are having, significant amounts of mental health issues. And I will plug another for P84 because so much of all those, good mood hormones are all happening in your gut. So by healing your gut, you're improving your mood too. And, some people, it's all about capacity and it's all about bandwidth. And if you're dealing with people who physically have burnout and depression, and then it loops because now they're depressed that they can't get out of bed, and then they feel guilty, and then you really get into a downward spiral. And so, I mean, some of my clients are at the point where they have physical pain, and then it turns into like, a lot of this guilt and shame, and they struggle to brush their teeth. They're not going to get up drink lemon water before coffee, make sure they get in 30 grams of protein. These are people who are struggling to brush their teeth, right? So they need a small, quick win to really get them feeling better. And this Nerf too, it helps with mental issues. It helps with physical pain. A lot of my clients within days are like, oh, that I can reach down and tie my shoes and I have no pain anymore. It's really impressive. And it's those little quick wins that get you over that hump so that you have that positive snowball effect that like, okay, great. Now I have the capacity to do these other things that I also need to do to get myself feeling better. And sometimes it is that first step. And overwhelming them with data from tests, they don't have the capacity for that. And it's like when you feel better, you do better, right? When you're eating well and you're feeling well, that tends to continue. And when you are in Cookie Monster mode, you tend to continue. So it's just really been an amazing tool to help people do one small change to really start building a healthier lifestyle. It's been really amazing.
Oh my gosh.
So while I love collagen, and I will give everybody collagen forever if anyone who wants it, because I was told before I turned 40 that I needed a hip replacement. And I was like, nah, that doesn't sound like that's going to work for me. And now I'm a Pelotoner. I don't run because I don't do that anymore after the Army. Thanks anyway. But like, I don't have any physical limitations anymore. And I didn't have to have hip surgery. I didn't have to have any kind of steroid injections. But reducing that inflammation was really the key for me. And I think a lot of people are over supplemented, they're over medicated, and they're not feeling better. So it has been really, really amazing.
It's fun to turn the body back on, right? The body is the miracle if it can heal, and it's really fun to be able to turn the body back on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah. And then I'll just say, look, on the business side of things, being an integrative health practitioner, a lot of us have online businesses. And when you see people over Zoom, it still really gets lonely, when you're not seeing people. I'm also a licensed massage therapist, but I mean, you're really trading one-on-one time for money. And then you get sick or you get injured, or like today we had a snowstorm and like our whole state shut down at noon. Like that's all lost revenue. So having something like this, it pairs really well, even if you're a practitioner or a body worker or something like that, because you can help your clients. They're obviously coming to you for other things, like for massage or whatever other treatments you have. This can help supplement their process that they're going through to help healing. And then it helps give you another line of income that you have coming in. So if you are sick or your kid's sick or, you have to cancel for some reason, you still have that income coming in every month, which can really kind of keep you afloat during, bad weather, hard times, family illness, personal injury. And so I feel like it's really important as a practitioner to be able to diversify like that, to help support you.
Oh my gosh. So true.
Yeah. And then I've done other, like some other MLMs over the years, other things not medical related. And while everybody talks about the community, like I've never seen a community like Lifevantage and the group that we have here and the team, and being able to reach out to each other with questions and just to bounce ideas off each other. And again, being like an independent worker over Zoom with people all the time, like it really is a lot of fun. And then you get to meet in person at events and we all have dinner together and do fun stuff. And it's like, you feel like you know them even when you meet them for the very first time. And so, you're never alone in it. So if you're not maybe feeling confident about the selling part of it, everyone's right here for you. Everyone's right here with you, and we're a team. So, we love to help each other. So.
Oh my gosh, Christine, thank you for that. And you guys, a cute little, we are all independent business owners, but even though you're in business, for yourself, you're not in business by yourself. And I think today we're all looking for ease and flow in our lives because we have way too many other things to do. Like gone are the days of hustle and grind that we were either willing to do it or thought we had to do it. And now it's like, oh, I can actually have fun and make a difference and it's easy. Fantastic. So I love that. Love that. Love that. All right, Michelle, we're going to come up to you. And similar, because I know, again, you guys, I think the integrative health practitioner world as coaches, most of the time in all the trainings, all we know is protocols because that's what's been taught. And so you yourself really, talking about like, what's the number one reason that you're seeing clients fail on or not getting the success they want, right? On all these protocols.
I love this, Kelly, this question because that is kind of been the foundation of what we learned as an integrative health practitioner. And it was very exciting. Like I am so thankful for what I learned, and these protocols can work. But I have outlined several things that really cause speed bumps, and I see it in my practice. And I'd love to be able to share a personal story as well with something with Jesse at the very end on a protocol, to just kind of speak to something that's like, this isn't something I made up. Like there are issues and hiccups in these protocols. And there's several reasons. It's because people just don't need, and like if you send a woman like a 5-page PDF on her protocol, what do you think is going to happen? It's kind of like what Christine and Marcy, we all feel the same way because we've all seen that blank stare on the other side of the screen where someone's like, cool, like, thanks for this. Like, and you feel like you let them down because you're like, you've worked so hard and you put your passion in it and you've put this protocol together and you spent weeks or however long putting it together, getting the labs and just like getting so excited. And the recipient is like, great, another overwhelmed thing. And then they ghost you and never want to hear from you again because they're not going to do it. And they'd rather throw the money out the window than even be a part of it. They're like, I can't handle this, So, they're depleted. Their body is too stressed. So I think this is the other thing we like, kind of like Marcy brought up. Some of these protocols are way upstream, like are too downstream, and we're coming at this from an upstream approach. So it's like the protocol is starting down here, but all of this other noise up here that's happening in their body, the stress, their body isn't detoxing properly, they're inflamed, they have all these other issues, they're sleeping terrible. And so they can't really ever get the result, and then they get frustrated and they give up, or they walk through it and maybe they come back and they feel 70% better, but nobody feels good as a health coach knowing that your client isn't like they've invested, they've done the time, they've done the work, they've been in the trenches with it and they've tried. And I love the part that Marcy brought up too about this, whenever we're thinking about like oxidative stress, and that's what the NRF2 does, it reduces that oxidative stress by 40%. Even these protocols, think about this, guys, create oxidative stress. So if you're putting someone on a protocol, they're already highly inflamed, they already have all this oxidative stress. Now you're releasing more inflammation back into their body that their body already couldn't handle, but you're disrupting it all. It's no wonder people maybe they're starting to gain weight on the protocol. They're feeling worse. They're sluggish. They're that. And we say like, keep pushing through, there's going to be detox symptoms. There's going to be this, there's going to be Herxheimer reactions. Like trying to explain a Herxheimer reaction to a client is terrifying to them. Like, they're like, I already feel terrible enough. Now you're going to tell me that I'm going to have massive headaches and have to be in bed for who knows how many days, it's like, so, and I've personally experienced those reactions. Let me say this. Okay, I have been there experiencing the detox headaches and all the stuff from doing the detoxes. So jumping right into these big changes is really, I think, one of the biggest things is they go from feeling terrible, the worst they've ever felt. They come to an integrative health practitioner, usually as the last resort. They're not coming to us right out of the gate like, oh, I don't feel well. Let me call somebody and start getting to root cause issues. So they've got that congestion, their mitochondria is all sluggish and not working properly. It's burned out. Their blood sugar's a mess. So activation gives us that way to stabilize that terrain first so that any protocol is more effective. So we don't want to ever feel like, I never want to feel like I'm recommending something to somebody that I kind of know in the back of my mind is a gamble. Like, I'm like, okay, like here's the protocol, but let's see how it goes, and like close your eyes and white knuckle it through it. And hopefully it works, and I'll be right here by your side. But when we start with activation first, we're helping remove so many different things, and we're starting small, and it's not as overwhelming. It's not the decision fatigue. We're not overwhelming them with all these things that they have to do and cut out and say, oh, now you can't have any of this. Now go on this 30-day, you cannot eat anything, only eat the things on this list, and then you'll feel better. And so it's all of that guidance. So as practitioners, a lot of times we have to choose between this all natural lifestyle or clinical tools. And it's like we're always struggling on like, what do I recommend? What do I recommend? What feels like that's right to my values? What is in line with what I learned as an integrative health practitioner. It's like, and so but we're still at the very root trying to get that client feeling the best as fast possible. So clearing those pathways, getting that detox pathway activated, that oxidative stress reduced, finding quick wins. Women over 40 don't need another huge protocol. Believe me, their life is a protocol. Like they don't need something coming in and being like, well, here, let me revamp your whole life and like make sure you get enough 30 minutes of sunshine in the morning and then 30 minutes of sun, they're like, are you serious? Like, and while those things work, let me say this, I believe in all the things that I write in protocols. I have never written a protocol in something I didn't read or a coaching program or anything that I didn't believe in. But, and that I do know work because I've done it myself, right? But the keeping up with it, it's like you have to quit your job. And then there's also the financial investment. So we're starting out with something that can really move the needle. It's not expensive, it's easy to do, and it gets results and it helps people start getting and feeling better, clearing the noise, clearing the junk out of their system, get their body running better, clearing things out better. Besides, tell them to do a coffee enema every day for, a month, which I love coffee enemas. Again, love all this stuff, okay? But realistically, a way to approach a client protocol in a way that's going to start getting them those results. So they get better in recovery, their joint, all these things start to fade into the background. So like Marcy even said too, they may not even need all the stuff that you're giving them. It's like the joint pain, if it goes away, if this happens, if that happens, it's like, we did our job. We did our job. So whenever it comes to all these things, I think, let me just see that, one of the things, clients are exhausted. They're physically and mentally exhausted. Like trying to tell them a protocol is hard. The activation, it really bridges the gap. It's not a replacement, but it really helps. It's an amplifier to anything that we do. It amplifies it. And it's a great place to start. Also, a small start with compliance. Like, let's just get you taking this for every day for 30 days or 3 months. And then we'll introduce something else. And isn't that like so respectful to the client? Like, I just feel like I'm honoring them when I come to them with something small and we lead up to bigger steps. I just feel like I feel so good about it myself. So, like the other thing is like the timeline is too slow. People aren't getting results fast enough. It's like Christine, she was able to take the collagen. It's like we're taking these products too and we're experiencing it. And then I love this, like the protocol doesn't match their biology. You can put all the protocols on a woman over 40, and that does not mean it's going to do anything. She could be like, I did everything and I still feel terrible because one protocol doesn't work. We're not all exactly the same. Just like, the genetic testing that, the DNA stuff and all of that, it proves that not all things are going to funnel down to the same result. So we're all trying to push a square peg into a round hole and be like, here's your protocol. But everyone has NRF2 pathways that need to be activated. Everyone has oxidative stress that needs to be reduced. So that's where this is such a wonderful foundational tool to start with. And just like, step one, start taking this. Let's do that. And then even some of the other tools, if I'm going to go on a few of my things, but let me share one other thing. So one thing I put together is protocols fail when the body isn't primed to receive them. Activation creates the biological readiness that allows every nutrition plan, detox, and lifestyle protocol to actually work. And that's what we want.
My gosh, we could end right there, you guys. That was so beautiful, Michelle. That's amazing. So yeah, no, continue and definitely share your favorite things or your story about Jessie.
Yeah, so two things I want to share. And this is a very frustrating one for me because me and Jessie did the full-on 6-month gut healing protocol, okay, through the integrative health practitioner protocol plan, okay? And I'm not bashing this at all. But I did it. I did the 21-day detox. I did a parasite detox. I did the 3-month gut healing. I followed it up by the 3 months of the gut healing, sealing, months of this. And so I realized, I was like, this is not going to keep working if anyone just goes back to the regular lifestyle. If you are going to stay on this gut guide plan of like the most 30 foods you can eat, then sure, I'm sure your gut health would stay amazing and you never got stressed out and you slept the best and your water never had contaminants and you never took a shower in chlorine and you never absorbed a fragrance in a restaurant. Yeah. And it's unrealistic. and this is because now Jesse has been dealing with gut health issues again. And I am like looking at him like, how can I honestly recommend this to a client? The cost, the time, the energy, the frustration. I'm like, you're joking right now. This is not, okay. And so when I saw the Love Biome product release, and when Marcy messaged me, I was like, please let this be, let this be something, because that makes sense to me. Activating the gut peptide, not just removing all the bad stuff, all the evil villains. Of course, everyone feels good when you take everything away that's possibly bad, but we all can't live in a bomb shelter for the rest of our lives, hoping that we feel well. So, the Love Biome product, I still don't know enough about it, but I've been taking it every day. Jesse's been drinking it. I was worried. Jesse thinks it tastes really good. Whew. Okay. So that's great. And he takes the collagen and he loves the Tri-Synergizer. And so my other favorite product is Axio. And the reason why Axio is one of my hands down favorite products is because it was the product that made me realize the fog was lifting, things were shifting, and I was feeling better. And it was the product that got me to stop and actually research what I was taking. I took NRF2 for 5 months before I ever looked at it because another integrative health practitioner said you should take this. And I trusted him, and I'm glad I did. And after the Axio experience, and I'll share real quick, and then Kelly, I'll turn the stage back over to you. I was dealing with such insane brain fog and memory issues from being in like perimenopause, or maybe just oxidative stress in my brain. Let's just be realistic. By 46 years old, there's oxidative stress everywhere. So I was having such horrible memory issues that it was so embarrassing. I thought at first I was having like dementia. I was like, am I like having like early onset dementia here? Like I can't remember anything. People would tell me something and I already knew I was going to forget it instantly. And I was like smile and nod and be like, thank you for that. Gone. I was out talking to some health and wellness professionals, been out, talked to several different people at like in like a plaza. And I came back to my car and I just started writing down everyone's names. And I sat there for a second and I was like, what just happened? And we're talking minutes had gone in between. It was like a 20-minute of me talking to different people, walking into different wellness facilities. And I was like, wait a second. That didn't just happen like because I drank extra water today. Like, what is going on? And that got me to stop and start researching. And that is when I couldn't, that's when game was on with Kelly. She came in town. I mean, it was like, okay, guys, the gloves are off. Let's go. And I started researching the Pro Tandem and I'm like, everyone needs this. Everyone needs Axio. Everyone needs all of it. Let's do it. And so was my aha moment was with the Axio. So I absolutely love the Axio. It's phenomenal. And that's my, like with the NRF2 paired together, of course, everyone paired together. NRF2 is always there. Anyway, that was my big thing. And so that's kind of everything that I've got. Does that answer everything, Kelly, that I kind of.
Absolutely, absolutely, Michelle. And for those of you who are like, I'm not sure what even Axio is, on the same vein of activation, and our slogan is you take it to make it. You take this energy brain drink, okay, and it makes neurotransmitters. It helps make the connections in the brain so that your brain is firing with those messengers, right? And so everyone's like, whoa, I just feel like somebody cleaned my brain, cleaned my glasses. I feel so mentally sharp and clear and positive mood. So I love that, Michelle. Absolutely love it. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on. So thank you so, so much. I love it. I think people are like, this is crazy, all of your stories, everybody. Though we have just a few more. So, Julie, I'm going to turn it over to you because collagen is a really hot topic, and collagen's been around for a long time, and a lot of people take a variety of collagens. But you love collagen, and I just thought, you know what, you might want to talk a little bit more to everybody kind of about what makes it different and why you said yes to Lifevantage.
Well, I will say first and foremost, I was introduced to Nerf 2 first. And, like probably I would love to see a show of hands or in the chat. Who here takes collagen? I mean, I feel like collagen and creatine are the new go-to. Like everybody I know is taking both of those. And honestly, I've been taking creatine on and off for like 20 years. Collagen, I work with midlife women, right? I'm 57. We all have seen the changes in our skin. And, I think that's one of the first things that prompts a lot of women, or at least my clients, to look at collagen. But what most people don't understand is collagen is in every tissue. And as you can probably attest, Kelly, a physical therapist I have seen thousands of hip fractures, and bone health is a huge, huge thing for me and for my clients, just because it's so detrimental and honestly deadly. So collagen is something that I feel like people want a quick fix, right? They want, and that's, that's part of the reason that the GLPs are taking off and all these things that are offering a quick fix. So I will say, first and foremost, the Nerf 2 is what really got me interested in Lifevantage. I Collagen is, I have tried all of them, right? The powders that everyone's adding collagen to their coffee. And this one is so different because it's unlike most of the collagens that you're going to find. First of all, it's liquid, right? It tastes amazing. It's like my little, okay, I got a little shot of this amazing tasting collagen, but it's different in terms of this is a marine collagen and it has 10 different types of collagen. We make, I don't even know, I think something like 30 different types of collagen in our body. So this doesn't only just replace, it activates your own ability to make collagen. Back when I mentioned I did that DNA test, one of my profound markers was that I am a terrible producer of collagen and I have genetically terrible bone health. So that was like an aha moment. Okay, I've got to do something about that. And clearly, diet, nutrition, exercise are going to be helpful for that. But the collagen, so it activates your own ability to make collagen and it replaces collagen. So a lot of the powders are only going to have a couple types of collagen. They're going to replace collagen, but they're not going to activate your own ability to make it. And then also it helps maintain collagen. So just like, bones and skin and vessels and gut, all of these tissues have collagen in them. Your body has to constantly be producing it, breaking down, producing it, breaking down, right? Otherwise, we would have skin that was like this thick and our bones would just keep growing. We have to be constantly turning it over and recreating it. And that whole finely tuned system is something that our body naturally does, right? And that's why this helps do that. So my favorite two products are the collagen and the Nerf 2. I will say after listening to all of you, I'm like, okay, I need to jump on board and get the gut supplements too, because that's, I had an emergency appendectomy a year and a half ago. And, I still do a lot of testing. I do just a couple tests, and I do a lot of blood testing too. But even my own microbiome, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was great. And it's amazing how quickly that changes just by one round of antibiotics or stressful life events and things like that. So you guys have sold me on and reminded me that I need to try that one next. But I'm really a big proponent of like, a few foundational supplements for my clients. And back to my initial comment about, food is medicine, food, movement, sleep, sun, those are all foundational. And if you don't have those things in order, then none of these other like expensive supplements are going to help. But the Nerf 2 and these activation supplements are going to help your body do what it already does naturally and just enhance that. So this is my go-to, Nerf 2 as well. But every single supplement, I've tried the Axio. I'm thankful that I wake up with energy, thankful that I go to bed with energy. I feel like I have just great energy. So I don't necessarily use some of those other supplements, or some of the other products that we have, but I think they're all amazing. So anyone that hasn't tried this, I highly recommend it.
Highly recommend it. For sure, for sure. You guys, well, we've talked so much about protocols, about people's favorite products, but we also, I'm going to bring Laura on, and we also wanted to talk about like if we're buying products from CVS, if we're buying products from another company, like it's all buying products and somebody's all getting paid, and sometimes the stigma of network marketing kind of gets in the way. But Laura and I were on a call with several other health practitioners, and one of them was really talking about, and it opened her eyes about being a part of Lifevantage and why selling as network marketing company, right, is no different of any other company that we're a part of. So Laura, I mean, you can certainly talk a little bit if you want about, using some of it in your practice or the gut protocols, or we can just really jump right into this whole thing about selling, because I do think that's probably a question many of you out there have and a stigma that you have. And we can take more questions afterward, or we're going to get back to whoever invited you, that you can get more and more questions answered. But I do think this is a really important one.
Thanks, Kelly. The elephant in the room is Lifevantage is an MLM. It's a network marketing company. And so many people are, scared of that idea. And so that I think it's just really important to talk about how Lifevantage, I think, is just really different with this. We do have that ability with the peer-reviewed studies and all of, we are able to make health claims by being able to say that protandim NRF2 decreases the oxidative stress an average of 40% in 30 days in 100% of the people. Other companies can't say that. We are blessed that those studies are there and that we have that ability to say that. You know, I was, when I found out this was an MLM, that was my first thought as well. It's like, oh, I've been involved with too many network marketing companies. I was never out to make tons of money in them. I was just out to find good products and use them for my family. And eventually I shared them with other people. But the thing with the activation and being able to make, these statements that is so empowering, I feel like, it has been able to make me feel like, you know, I feel like more of a nutraceutical rep. I heard somebody else use that term on another Zoom. And, we're out there educating people on what these products can do for people's health versus, trying to sell a product. I mean, yes, are they one and the same? Yes, maybe potentially. But, we network market every day when we're out there saying to people, oh, I watched this movie. It was really good. Oh, go try eat at this restaurant. We do that every day. We just don't get paid to do that. So LifeVantage is blessing us with allowing us to help people's health and be able to make an income as we're doing those things. Protandim NRF2 started out as a retail product. It started out in stores, but people were not able to, you know, people didn't understand it. They saw it sitting there on a shelf, and the people selling them weren't educated enough on it. So the company on purpose made a very, on purpose decision deliberately to bring it into the network marketing world that has allowed people to educate and share and get a better understanding about all these wonderful products that they are continuing to, come up with that are helping people's health in so many ways.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, Laura. What's interesting is over the past year, and I believe over the past years to come, we're going to see a lot of changes in the industry of network marketing. And some have gone away, and some have gone only to affiliate model. But LifeVantage decided to double down and said network marketing has its place. It is so special for those people that want it. So never before is there's a network marketing company that's this debt-free company, okay? What everybody needs to know is publicly traded, all their finances are out there, that they just acquired another company that we are able to get this amazing gut activation product P84. Who's acquiring companies, right? And 2 years ago, they spent millions of dollars hiring consultants to look at the compensation plan to make sure people are getting paid fair, not just in how network marketing is, but in the industry of side gigs and side hustles. How are people making money? How are people getting paid? People want money right away. So now you have a way to get paid weekly, monthly. You can get paid just for sharing with clients. You can get paid for building a whole team. You can do whatever you want. There's a place for you here, which is really, really unique and special. So thank you, Laura. And then, Laura, you want to end on your favorite product?
I kind of like them all. I've been with the company for just about going on a year, and I have tried lots of the products. Right now, my favorites, I'm on the Tri-Synergizer, so that means the NRF1, NRF2, and NAD. And I gradually added one. I didn't start on that. And then I love the collagen, been on that from the beginning as well. And, seeing all kinds of wonderful things, just like everybody else's stories of, I'm moving better, I'm feeling better, my skin looks better, like Julie and others have said, my genetics are not good. I've got lots of issues in my genetics. And so these products are really helping me feel better and make those positive, changes in my health. I 100% love the P84. My program is called Have the Guts to Heal, so I was very focused in on gut health, detoxing, all of that kind of stuff. it fits right in with that. It's such an easy way. And like Marcy, we've got all these products sitting behind Marcy. We don't need to take all those products anymore. It's just wonderful that that's not something that has to be part of our protocols and overwhelming ourselves, our family, our friends, our clients. And just like Marcy, I have an Aura ring and I've been taking it for 3 weeks and my sleep scores are well improved in those 3 weeks time period. So yeah, it's wonderful. And I'm so happy to be part of the company and all these wonderful products.
Wow, you guys. Well, I'll just kind of end on my favorite product. Of course, like it's a given. I hope everybody understands now it's a given that everybody's on Protandim Nerve 2. But the one product that we didn't talk about, some of the research from LSU found that when you take Protandim Nerve 2, that it broke the link to melanoma skin cancer. They came back to the company and said, is there any way you can take Nerve 2 activation and put it into a skincare line? So they did the research, they hired the best people, and that's exactly what they did. And so we have a Nerve 2 activated skincare line that is so clean that I absolutely love. Growing up in Arizona with so much sun and then Southern California, I mean, people can look at my skin and they're like, there's no way. I said, my skin was horrific. And literally, people were like, your skin is glowing. I think it's the combination of all the products. I never think it's always one thing, but I come from a family of heavy skin cancer. And so that's really important to me. So I have to say that the whole skincare line is unbelievable. And probably it's right up there with one of my top products. So you guys, there's a few more products as well. You can learn a deep dive into more science, into more research, into more stories, but please get back to whoever invited you to this call. But I really want you to make a decision. We are moving into the busy season. Don't let the busy season says, well, I'll think about it. And when I start the new year, I'll make a decision. You need to make a decision today because what your life could look like in the next 30 days for your health and your finances can be radically different. So I would just say, make a decision, get back to whoever invited you today, and really let us be the first to welcome you to Lifevantage. So you guys, without further ado, we'll close it out tonight. Thanks everybody so much for your time and energy, and we will see you all soon.